Welcome along to Film Talk. I'm Richard Edwards, and today we're looking at The Courier, the new Cold War spy drama starring Benedict Cumberbatch and directed by Dominic Cooke.
This is unexpected. I can't believe I'm actually having lunch with spies. I'm just a salesman.
Exactly. You're civilians the KGB won't be watching.
It would be a real service to Great Britain.
The Courier is based on a true story. It's centred in the Cold War and tells the story of Greville Wynne, a British businessman who's recruited by MI6 as a courier to bring back secret documents from a source high up in the Soviet Secret Service. The Courier had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival in January 2020. Yes, that's over a year ago. Its release in theatres, a limited release in October 2020 in the US, was delayed somewhat because of the pandemic, and its release in the UK was also delayed and is now slated for March 2021. The film is directed by Dominic Cooke, who's a relative newcomer to feature films. He has a very long track record in theatre going back many, many years, but his debut feature was in 2017 with the highly acclaimed On Chesil Beach. That was while he was working on the film that he worked with the cinematographer Sean Bobbitt. Now, Sean has a very long track record as a cinematographer going back to 1999 with the film Wonderland. He's worked with Steve McQueen on a couple of occasions, notably Hunger in 2008 and the highly acclaimed and multi-award winning 12 Years a Slave. Turning our attention to the trailer, and the film opens in the 1960s and it's very evocative of that era, as you would expect, because that's when it's meant to be set. But the set design and location choices, I think, very, very good, very clever, very indicative of that period. It's not difficult to find 1960s in London, of course. He's talking to Russian businessmen and telling them that he's opening up a door, a gateway into the West to enable them to do business with Western companies. He's a bit of a hopeless spy in many ways. His character comes across as a kind of hapless, comical character. But immediately we see, that suspicion. Everybody you meet in Russia assume they're KGB. And those scenes of the Soviet Union, very evocative of the kind of 40s, 50s, 60s, that Cold War era. Dark, damp. Greville becomes very suspicious. He's always looking over his shoulder. And quite rightly so. He's doing a very dangerous job, in many ways being used by the Secret Service. But very quickly we see that the real Russian spy, Oleg Penkovsky, comes under suspicion, and therefore so does Greville. He's under a lot of pressure from home not to go back. His wife realises the danger to him and his family. It is a very compelling story, and it's a true life, real story. This is a real spy drama, and Oleg Penkovsky, as shown in the film, is found out and arrested. But it's how that story unfolds and the real sense of drama that we see around the missile crisis in the US, in the Caribbean, as the Soviets are trying to bring those missiles into Cuba. But what is Oleg's fate going to be at the end of the film? What's Gwynne's fate going to be at the end of the film? If you know the story, you know what's going to happen. To avoid any spoilers, we won't put any of that in here now, but it's a very compelling story and a real important part of our history. Greville Wynne was an electrical engineer who trained at Nottingham University and often would spend time travelling to Eastern Europe in post-war Britain. And it was in 1960 that he really was recruited by MI6 and asked to make several sales trips to Moscow because there was a Russian spy, Oleg Penkovsky, a high-ranking official in the Soviet Secret Service, the GRU, who wanted to send secrets to the West. Now, this spying activity went on for a number of years, and I think Greville was actually bringing secrets back all the way up to 1963, the real time of the Cuban Missile Crisis. All in all, The Courier looks like a really interesting and entertaining film. The look and feel, certainly from the trailer, that evocative period of the 1960s in the UK and in the Soviet Union feels very genuine. You sense the tension, the real tension of the Cuban Missile Crisis coming in and coming into the story, and the absolute terror of Wynne going behind the enemy lines, as it were, to kind of smuggle these secrets out of the Soviet Union, the tension and drama of that mission to the Soviet Union, try and retrieve those secrets from Oleg. Rotten Tomatoes has given the film a score of around about 82%, a kind of 6.67 out of 10, which is quite respectable these days. The film's look and feel is very strong, very positive. You really do sense the 1960s in the UK and also in the Soviet Union. And you do also sense the tension of that mission to Moscow to try and bring back those secrets, that unwitting spy being a spy, but also the tension of the Cuban Missile Crisis at the same time, that worldwide crisis at the end of 1962, of which Gwynne was playing an absolute central part. So all in all, the film looks like a really entertaining film. Great scenes, great location, good performances too. You can't really go wrong with Benedict Cumberbatch, and definitely a film to watch. Do leave some comments down below and tell us what you think of The Courier. And if you enjoyed the video, please also consider subscribing to our channel. And don't forget to hit that little bell icon to get a notification every time we release a new video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.